without socks on.
Is Norm sick?
He went to sleep with no socks.
Why? What happened? Why is Norm sick?
I'm not sick.
Oh.
He's old. Sounds good.
But I'm not old
Okay, so I'm gonna play a dervish chant.
No, on cold, but somewhat, I got now pink socks, pink underwear, pink...
Not a good wife material, you are. Just sorry to tell you.
Well, it's the first time it happened.
Although I have to say, pink stuff.
Yeah, now I have to keep pink.
Can I bring something up about Rabbi McDickerson and essentially how he's completely incapable of actually having a real conversation? So he's essentially just he's an interruptionist propagandist, and probably in the same way that Soren is, but even worse, which means that he has...
What are you talking about? Hold on. What are you talking about, Randy? What triggered this?
Because Randy is incapable of having an actual adult, mature conversation.
Okay, but what just triggered this out of the blue?
It's not out of the blue. This is an extenuation of my thoughts.
It takes one to know one.
It does take someone to know one. And the problem is, he's essentially anti-intellectual in his insane...
Why are you going against Randy?
Kick him!
It's weird that you're doing that.
It's not weird. I dislike him.
I like him. I like everybody. I like Isaiah. I like Douglas. I like the...
We have a name for it, Adrian. It's called counterintelligence.
Counterintelligence. No, that is Soren. No, who was it? No, that was Ish. Ish was
Ish, I like Ish. Even though I think that he would rob me if given the chance. He would rob me in a stairwell.
Can you try to bring up Ish again?
At the end,
He needs to do whatever he told
He
you.
doesn't get it, dude. I don't know if it's the weed that he smokes or it's just a matter of low IQ.
He doesn't want to come up.
It's not the weed. He gets off on inflaming and tossing gas. He's just a gaslighter. That's what he likes.
Anyway, so that is it's not true that you don't like Randy. You guys have been friends for a long time. And
Friends? I record that guy to humiliate him. I really disrespect him and dislike him very much.
Well, he likes you a lot. And,
That's because he's a depressed retard.
he's definitely not a retard.
Oh, I assure you, if you come on this app for years and repeat yourself like a robot, you're a retard.
What pink, what is it called? Cloths, with the ones that you clean the kitchen with?
Rags.
Yeah, no, it's the cloth.
I think cloth is an English word.
Trampas.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's like
Cloth.
living in the apartment world.
Oh, Eitan is here. Hi, Eitan.
It's not like a very big load, but...
and also she was talking while she was like 2 operations at the same time. It's like very tough for a woman.
Overloaded.
Challenging. Just
No, it's a very bad woman. Look, I'm
Overwhelmed.
gonna PCR my son.
My point is, if you come off mic and just interrupt with just nonstop interruptions, or if you ask questions all the time and you don't present opinions and evidence, that is a clear indicator that you are a retard and a propagandist.
What are you talking about?
You propagandize us all the time.
I love Jews. I hate anyone that hates Jews. That's what I love. I love Jews and I hate anyone that hates Jews. You're asking me a question. I'm answering your question, Soren. I love Jews and I hate people that hate Jews, Soren.
Okay, look at my PTR with pink socks. I need pink socks.
Ah, Adidas.
Yeah.
You're not banning them.
Do you like that color? In a way, I think they look crazy. You could use it to work out, Ethan.
So wait, are your
Adidas.
Issa, are your feet wider than they are in length?
What?
Are your feet wider in length than they are in
What was
length?
the item that you read?
No, they're not. But they are just like short socks for trainers.
So what? You mixed it with your colors and now it's got red ink on it.
Oh, what was
Yeah.
the red thing? What was the red thing?
It was a
it
blouse.
underwear?
No, it was a blouse.
So does that mean you're working out in these socks? Because those are workout socks.
That means that. You're alright.
Wow, you're working out. Congratulations and mazel tov.
Thank you. I'm trying to be a better person every day.
That's amazing. Because people come on this app and they run their mouth for years and years and years. I don't think they've read a book or worked out in 4 years.
I've been on a roll lately of going through books. I listened to a whole bunch of them in a row.
I create audiobooks myself. And I also listen to audiobooks.
You listen to the ones you create.
Sometimes. Have you ever heard of the Jewish author Eliphas Levi from France in 1801?
No.
Oh, you
What's
should.
the last name?
Levi.
A woman.
No, it's a man. His name is Eliphas Levi.
Oh, I think you said Elisa. Sounds sephardic.
Yeah, he might have been.
Like an autistic person.
Well, that's. I mean, aren't your rooms generally like the opposite end of autism? I mean, don't you agree that, doing 60 seconds like at a time, saying, okay, Soren gets 60 seconds, okay, Normal gets 60 seconds, and doing it that way as opposed to just not having a conversation because people just interrupt or ask questions incessantly?
I agree. I don't like the playing 21 questions, which Andre is a fan of.
I mean, you do realize philosophically asking questions is the problem, right?
Well, that's the question, yes. You just did it with the question.
Right? You ever have a conversation with somebody and all they just say right 100 times, right?
What year Israel got this and that?
That's actually a Socratic method, but I really do hate people who at the end of whatever they're asking going, right? Because it's like they're reassuring themselves that they actually said something.
Well, there are people that do it while they talk. Like, for example, Israel was established in 2000, right? And then after 2 years, it was.
It's a bad way of dialoguing. I mean, and you can do Socratic method when it's like a very small group of people and you're all on the same topic and you're all challenging each other. But just trying to like check what they know, it's a never-ending story. So that's why I'm against 21 questions.
But that's a sales technique. I mean, it's supposed to say.
Yeah, it's a distraction and of driving everyone crazy in the room.
It's not what they know, but rather where their stance is. Because if you make statements about other person's beliefs, most of the times they're either wrong or they have a sure way out of whatever position.
You assume that they got to their stance by themselves. They don't know why. They don't know why they think what they think.
That's a good point. They don't think. What did you think about your interaction with Lonzo last night?
Can I just say one thing, that if this app had a room set up where it was like on a 60-second timer, that would solve a lot of the communication problems on this app.
I think the problem is not necessarily the time, is that it's the people that are talking about Brazilian things or taking, you ask them about the weather and they answer you about like something else. Like this is the problem.
No,
You also talk for 10 seconds and make your point.
it's the arguing and the talking over that means that we can't actually have a transcript because everything is non-succinct. So I'm just saying if they had a room option where it was set on a 60-second timer and it rotated throughout the stage, like that's what.
That's very smart. And
You
it would
mean
be
like-
nice. See what's happening now. It would be
You
nice.
mean like
It
speed
would be nice. It would be nice if you had a 60-second timer and you had to buzz in. So if I got it, boom, I'm first. I only get 60 seconds, but nobody can interrupt me until my
Yeah,
60
that's a good
seconds.
dynamic. I
Hours
like
is
it. I like it.
There is a
I
app
mean, like
already.
speed dating.
There is something like this. It's called Zelda, and it's sort of like a walkie-talkie type of app where you constantly press your thumb on the button. And
Well,
you
it's basically human impulse control.
That app, by the way, Andre, I use that app.
What's it?
I
Which app?
launched
Which app is it?
Zillow.
Zelda, and it was
And what is that?
yeah,
for?
it was very popular in Venezuela during the Maduro. No, it was during Maduro like
But it's live, so everybody kind of connected to like the same channel, and at any given point you can kind of say something.
Hey Daniel, you know VoIP technology, voice over internet, was invented
Are you
in Israel by Vocaltech.
are you talking to me? Excuse me.
Yeah.
I know.
Voice over
Talking to an Israeli. Dan,
But
I wanted to address that.
Yeah, but not everyone.
I wanted to address that question. What did you think about your interaction with Lonzo last night?
You tell me. You were obviously listening.
Oh, I was there
well,
for a little bit.
You were being very indulgent, and he is like some other people in this room, the embodiment of evil. He's
Yeah, but I
very
could
evil.
tame him. But I think I could tame him.
You could
You
what?
know, I would not go
he's
too
a-
far.
Wait, I'm trying to hear what
Hold
you're
on,
saying.
Jacob,
What did you
can
say?
you please hold on, Jacob? Can you please bring up Ish?
Sure. All I was trying to say,
Okay,
I want to give you
up.
a different point of view on Lonzo when you're done.
I want to hear what Daniel is saying.
And I think I could that I think he did behave differently with me because he was in a room also here, and we treated him like we treat others, like with respect and yada yada yada. And I think that he also understood that I'm not there to fight and bullshit. So I think he treated like
He was respectful to me too
Yes.
yesterday.
But he tried to keep angling the conversation into an extremely negative place.
But that's
I know,
fine.
that's his
If
thing.
it's his room, that's fine. You cannot tell him what to do, but he was very
I'm
respectful.
not suggesting that.
He has never been disrespectful to me, and I've actually changed his opinion by giving him facts.
He's not going to
has-
change.
Yeah, you guys do know that Lonzo is a sycophant. He's one of the worst Jew haters on this app.
Fine.
He is.
He has
Well,
no
that may be fine. That may be fine.
Not wrong.
That may be fine, but if you're gonna put a Jew hater in your brain and let him put his essence into your cup, you're a moron.
No,
What do you
because
mean
we
this
are.
essence? No one is putting nothing in my
That's
cup.
not what happened.
Here is why I go into his rooms. He
Well,
has
not unconscientiously at least. Sorry.
What?
No. So no one is putting anything in my cup.
Exactly.
my consent.
Only what I pour into.
It's called a metaphor. Have you heard of the term metaphor?
Well, and
Yeah, I know, but
has beliefs
if you think
about
that
what it's like to be in contact with different sorts
No,
of
I think that Lonzo can listen. The level of argument that I hear in most of those rooms is like it's ridiculous. Okay, it's laughable. It's not that it will. Don't worry, I'm immune.
I'm not talking about influencing. I'm talking about your psyche, your mental health. By communicating with somebody for hours.
That's
We
gone
know
already.
you believe this, Edmund. You're the one who believes it's not us. It's a whole different conversation.
Edmond is by itself a cautionary tale.
I'm just saying, I prank call Lonzo. I go.
Our mental health was gone today. We joined Clubhouse, so don't worry about that.
Well, I'm concerned about people's mental health on this app.
Wait a second, Edmund. Edmund, wait a second. What do you think about his hatred of Jews? Don't you think it's a real
No, but
interesting?
how did you, like, from the outside view, how did you think it went?
Well, you were being reasonable, and he was trying to inch the conversation always towards more and more evil stories about Jews. It's like a great fairy tale. It's like a book of fairy tales about Jews. They go from one to the next. Look at what they did here. Look at what they did there.
Yeah, this is the game basically that they're playing. They're like they know those talking points. And it's like, okay, I can actually design a computer game that is like this basically.
But
Look at this.
It's
It's
one playing with them.
it's a conspirator.
It's a what?
He's a conspirator. I mean, like, most of the stuff he
Conspirator.
talks about is are the worst.
See
Are the worst type of like
I didn't know
tropes,
this.
you know, like the most common tropes about
But
Jew
I'm
hate.
wondering.
I'm never trying to convince him. I think if you look at all the people who are silent on the stage, as well as the huge number of people in the audience, those are people that are being exposed to one side of the conversation. So I'll go into his room and I'll go toe to toe with him, straight on facts, and he'll bring. When the first Portuguese Jew got involved in the slave trade, he said, yeah, 1454. So I'll call him on all of his history, and when he gets it wrong, I'll correct him. But it's to correct, not for him, because I can't change him. All the other people
I'm
who
just
are
saying.
listening to him and don't have a different point of view.
I'm just saying. 1 hour of Toira versus 1 hour of talking to Lonzo. Are you guys out of your minds?
There's
So,
2 hours.
I want to go.
Enough time to do both.
So Daniel, I just want to say, dude, he's from Haiti. So how does a person from Haiti, and it is a little bit like this too, look at the horrible situation going on in their country. It's literally a completely failed country. And again, I'm not trying to make this case now. They have the highest rate of slavery in general and child slavery on the planet. The country has slavery. It's black folks enslaving other black folks.
And
And here he is.
pedophilia as well.
Can I explain
Yes.
why? Right, one reason I think why.
It's gang
No, wait a
lords.
second. I want to talk about Lonzo.
I'm talking
And,
about
and,
Lonzo.
and he's obsessed with Jews.
Right. You know who the only billionaire is in Haiti?
The Clintons.
I don't. He's
A
mentioned
Jew!
that
A Jewish guy, a Sephardic Jewish guy whose family has lived
He's
there for
mentioned
20
that.
years.
But that's
They have all
a
the
side
money.
note.
What?
That's a side note. I mean,
No, it's not. It's,
well,
it's,
well
it's
what?
such
There's
a
one
focus.
guy there. So there's a rich Jew there. But other than that, like,
And he blames
why is
all of the problems of Haiti on the Jews, just like Hitler blamed all of the problems of the Weimar Republic on the Jews.
well, this is
Which
what I'm
is
trying to get at.
understandable when you understand where they're coming from.
Right. I think he's so
But that doesn't
focused.
make them right. However,
Correct.
you're right. It's the only way of actually trying to make sense with them is explaining what it is. It's engaging with them.
I hate to tell you this, but engaging with them without recording them is the essence of total retardation and stupidity.
Okay, so
Now,
basically,
recording them, what is the recording do?
yeah, for me, is that if I already invested the time, so others could see. But basically, the only reason I did do it is because there were like, I don't remember how many people in the audience, but there were people. And in his room, he's like the biggest player there. The other were really like beat out. At least he can sound like pleasant. I don't know, not to the ear. I mean, it's
like, oh, Isa, you go ahead and sing for the Jews. Go get yourself a husband.
yeah, the others were retards, no? Like, it was like, I don't remember the names, but like, really like, it's the Jews, really like, not even going.
Cult. It's a cult.
Yeah, so for me, it was
Charismatic
like,
leader. He's the
it was kind of like a show.
Yeah. There's one or two
Yeah.
who there was a woman up there who will just say, yeah, bring
But then he said, okay, so
dive into the 8 features that make Vibe the ultimate TV advertising platform, all in over 60 seconds. Why?
Jacob, hold on. Well, a logical fallacy is also to say because many people are saying something, it must be true. Okay? It's a logical fallacy. It's just not true. Okay? This is not how the world works. And you need to, like, a man at your age should know this. That this is, like, not reality.
This is not what the perception is.
Daniel,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what is your perception.
So I don't know if
Doesn't
you've seen
matter.
the interview of Dan Bilzerian recently about his view. So he's actually
The
already
great thinker.
Yeah.
The great thinker. That's what
he's not a great thinker for sure, but he's an
For God's sake, so then who the fuck cares about that Brazilian and what he said about anything except I'm still, I don't know, some pussy. Like, what the fuck?
But also like a guy like Andrew Tate, he's the most Google man in the world now, and you know what his position is on.
Remind me, what is he arrested for? What is he arrested for?
I know, but he's not radical left, by the way. He's actually
Listen,
one of those
he
pro-life.
just said, like, his wife left him. You know why she left him? Because of the Jews.
I know, I understand, but
Those are people. Listen, if those are your leaders, listen. Yes, there are people that have. No, listen. There are people that have mental issues. Okay, this is a mental issue. I don't know what is the name of it.
I'm not saying they're right.
Those people are sick. But the fact that people, there are sick people that can imagine they're hearing voices. You cannot say, oh, because they hear voices.
Okay, all right. You're the one who forms public opinion. So whether you like it
Okay, see, this is where 60 seconds or less would come in handy.
Hold on. That person here doesn't choose nothing, and the other, like, they're all nobodies, cloud chasers, like nobodies. Who cares? You know what? So they're like you. It's like you, basically. Exactly like you.
But do you hear what I'm saying?
That's kind of what the point is. They'll Soren is like that. This is what he's coming.
No, what I'm saying, I don't like it. I don't like your opinion. But what I'm saying is that
No, you are like them, meaning you are as crazy as they are.
That's okay. I don't mind about the.
Absolutely, definitely.
Okay, but
So
what
the
I'm
fact
saying is
that you're protesting right now is kind of humorous. You're making us laugh. Which is, by the way, why you're in the room with us, because you make us laugh.
Yeah, Soren, I mean, I hope you know this, but you sound like a wind-up monkey who repeats himself, and you are very smart. You do seem to know every topic and all the cultural nuances, and so you're following all the news. But if you really do work for the IRGC and Iran, you should reconsider your strategies for long-term success, because you're going to get obliterated, and you should probably just abandon all your propaganda efforts.
So this is what you gotta do, Danny. You see, I let them talk, and I was silent, and I can respond back. Maybe I don't want to respond because it's rubbish, but I don't interrupt them, Daniel. I let them to rant. This is how you need to.
So you don't want to respond to the fact that you're an online propagandist. Listen, Soren, why don't you identify yourself? Tell us where you live, who you work for, what your life's like. Do you ever get personal, or do you just
For once, I'm going to agree with
He
Soren.
lives in the Netherlands and he cleans toilets for a living. We've already talked to him numerous times.
Basically, Daniel, this is what is going on. These people are influencers, so I don't agree with their opinion about anything. But I'm just saying that many people Google them, many people hear what they say, and they form an opinion about it.
Okay, so for once, I am going to agree with you. I think that we should interrupt less. Now, the problem with that is that then people like you take advantage of it, and you start yelling and going on a rant and whatever, and that needs moderation. So, if you guys could commit to actually stay on point, don't interrupt with stupid stuff like, oh, you're so old, or your mama, I slept with her yesterday. I mean, if you guys would actually stick to a point, then we wouldn't need to interrupt.
It's not just about sticking to points.
If it's funny, can I interrupt? If it's really funny.
It's not about sticking to points. It's about equality.
You can do whatever you want.
Your goal is different from theirs. They're incapable, like I said. Their goal is not illumination. Their goal is they're processing their hatred and their delusion. This is a psychiatric issue.
You do realize that it is Jewish derangement syndrome. And you could time it by a heat map with words. If they bring up the word Jew or Jews, they're literally sick in the head, because the guys like Diego, and I've met him in the real world at a gas station with his Ukrainian bride. If you come on this fucking app and you say the Jews and that's all you do, bro, I feel bad for you. Your kids should have no respect for you. Your wife should have no. You gotta have a deep depression. This is psychological, and you might mute me, but just do 60 seconds or less and be a real moderator, not some kind of valley girl ditz. Why don't you really actually be an executive, Issa? Why don't you take your MBA and be an executive and really moderate? It's called 60 seconds or less.
Okay, honey. Thank you very much for your advice.
Criticism,
I'll send it to our rules department, and I'll come back to you after they've been reviewed.
And actually, I'm from the Cape, not from the Valley.
But look, I can't remember even 5 years ago. If you follow about the Israel-Palestinian conflict in the past 2 decades, you never ever heard about people being so outspoken about, let's say, like AIPAC. It was just one of those taboo things. But now I hear.
You mean before social media, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
This thing is nonstop. We had whole rallies about it during World War II with Father Coughlin in Madison Square Garden. We're used to it.
I'm talking about AIPAC.
Can we now talk about climate for
Well,
a second?
AIPAC didn't exist then, but the conspiracy theories about the Jews have been coming forever. It's all
Look, AIPAC is a non-story, Soren. You can repeat it all you want.
It's American, for some reason.
Fine, okay, I'm just saying stop talking about it.
I know it's not a foreign lobby apparently, but
It's not.
many
It's
people
a
question why it's
domestic
not a foreign
lobby.
lobby. I know, but so many people raise this question: why it's not a foreign lobby? But it's just these are the
Yeah,
questions.
you know, when someone says so many people, it's like, I have a friend that has a problem with his penis, and he is really embarrassed to ask, or something like this.
Well, give me an example. For example, that Dan.
We had a friend that did that also.
just gonna want to go off on it again.
But
But he has a platform.
Oh my god! You see, this is
This is why we need 60 seconds, not up.
we had a friend here in the app that when he would want to fight with you, he would be like that as well. Like, oh, is that everyone in the app thinks that you're a bitch? Okay, so who is everyone? Where is your
Me.
council?
Everyone in the
Yeah,
app
this
wants
is-
a piece. That's why yesterday someone used the word every time, and I said that's a big word when I meant it's a big word.
Yeah, but you,
It's all
it's
encompassing.
different.
No, what I'm saying is people throw everyone, nobody, everything. They just throw it
No, I'm
around,
saying there's a growing
and it means
number of
nothing.
people.
So
No, but
that's all I'm
Jacob
saying.
just wants to police our speech.
So
No, I don't. I just want to say that there are few times where you can say everyone. It just doesn't
When
exist.
he allows it.
This is like a growing number
Not
of
when
people
I allow
talking
it.
about this AIPAC now. I mean, they didn't use it.
Well, you really stay on point. You really stay on point, Soren.
Lobby, Soren. It's a stupid point. You're as bad as Lonzo or worse.
No, I'm just saying.
Can we welcome Mark Rice to the room, a Republican conservative candidate for Congress? Can we do 60 seconds, moderators?
Your mic is horrible. Adrian, your mic is horrible. You will go up and come back. Something is like completely off.
And the reason is very clear. It's because in the past we didn't have.
Welcome, Mark. He's just gonna
We
keep
had to
going
watch
with
CNN and Fox, but now.
60 seconds, moderators. 60 seconds, moderators. Please do something. Do something with your green bean moderators.
Your mic is crackling.
Great. Do something with your moderation, green bean.
Okay, listen, we cannot understand you. Go back and come. All right, in the chat, we don't understand you.
What is important now these days? Because people get this information from social media, whether we like it or not. In the past, people used to get it from mainstream.
That's an amazing observation.
Yes, I have a question. Let's say that many people will accuse you of something, okay? Of that you broke into a place, okay? Many say, yeah, it's so, and everybody knows it's so, and it broke into this place, okay? But then, there is no evidence. Do you think that you will actually, like, yes, you will suffer a lot? Maybe people will say, Soren is a criminal, You will apply for a job, and they will tell you, no, I heard you, I don't know what they will not tell you. They will just say no because Soren is a criminal. But you will not be actually prosecuted, okay? And then people will say, Soren has connection with the police. This is why they're not prosecuted. He pays the money. Yada yada yada. It's like facts are not reality, but at the end you will not be in prison, and you will not be able to sanction you based on. And those people that are believing this shit will always be surprised. How can they let Israel do this and this? How can they be? Why is this like? You'll always see pro-Palestinians surprised that like they don't understand. How can they be so cruel? How can they do this? Because things don't add up when you lie, so they can lie to themselves and live in it. I understand that there are many people right now. I believe, yes, that there's a lot of people that live in a delusion, and I believe that the bubble will explode at some point.
Fair enough.
And it's still growing. It didn't explode
That's
yet.
great. What he's just saying is correct. I'm getting to it.
You will apply for a job and they will tell you, no, I heard you, I don't know, we're not ready, but we can know that.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that it's a big power trying to have it just call it Israel. Okay. So the thing is that how the public, how you view, how the actual public opinion about a certain topic is formed is based on the social media these days. What the celebrities,
You need to understand.
I know.
Yeah, hold on.
I know the difference between fact and perception. I'm not here to argue with you.
I understand, Soren. You need to understand that. I understand. You should go to the other rooms and tell them that perception is a reality. At the end, we care more about reality than the perception. There is nothing that we can do when people like yourself are working tirelessly in defamation. So we need to know for ourselves that what is going on is not what people are saying. No genocide, everything basically that you guys are saying is bullshit. And I know that the more people are saying it, the more people believe it. But at the end, it will have to explode. Okay? Because it's getting serious and serious. You will then demand like a genocide, like whatever. And there is data. The IDF is recording everything. Everything is documented. Everything. And it will have to explode. And then people will have to do a lot of introspecting of allowing whatever they allow to happen. You were not included because you know exactly what you're doing. I'm talking about the many useful idiots that think that they are helping Palestinians, but they are not.
Okay, Paul, but again, you're talking about the reality. I'm talking about the perception here. Regardless of what the reality is, obviously reality can be also relative, depends on which side of the fence you are. But the perception, specifically talking about the perception.
There it is. Regardless of what reality is, that's exactly where you're at. Regardless of what reality is.
So why do you think that is? Soren, why do you think?
What if someone destruction is from urban warfare instead of
Listen, the reality is one mass terrorist is not a mass freedom fighter. That's the reality.
So one thing I should have been saying that it can happen to anyone,
Freedom fighters.
No, but it doesn't matter. Like it's talking about that you can basically create a reality that is unconnected to anything. And if you look at the West, even in universities, yes, some people, idiots, will say that they are freedom fighters. We disagree with this, but for them, which they don't know much, yes, they go with the flow. They wear the kafia, free Palestine. They don't know what it means. But Soren, if you see that this is like a problem, what do you think will happen next? It can happen with anyone.
True.
And I think it will only affect. The thing is that it's like it's a disproportional weapon because it can only work on like moral Western democracy. If I would blame
death, resurrection is the method by which experience was built up. This corresponds to patriarchal systems. Now, Horus, the child in which we come to perceive events as a continual growth partaking in its elements of both these methods and not to be overcome by circumstance. This present period involves the recognition of the individual as the unit of society. We realize ourselves as explained in the first paragraphs of this essay. Every event, including death, is only one more accretion to our experience, freely willed by ourselves from the beginning and therefore also predestined. This god Horus has a technical title, Heru Ra Ha, combination of twin gods gods, Ra, Hor, Kuat, and Hor, Par, Krat.
Do you remember that girl who recorded the sound? Now everyone needs to do this.
My brother didn't know about this film.
Because you know exactly what you're doing. I'm talking about the many useful ideas, the things that they're helping Palestinians, that they're I'll show you something on October 7th. My asshole's October 7th. Come over here.
That guy's funny. October 7th is my asshole. Come over here, bitch. Oh my god.